You think scams are just random phishing emails from some shady basement? Welcome to Econ Barbarian. Today we're tearing apart one of the most profitable, globalized, and shockingly organized industries in the world, the business of scamming. This isn't a ragtag bunch of con artists. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, with supply chains as sophisticated as Apple's iPhone production, profit margins that make Wall Street jealous, and a global workforce that spans continents. By the end of this video, you'll see scams not just as crimes, but as a highly optimized business model, one that's eating away at economies, exploiting technology, and turning ordinary people into unwilling investors in a criminal enterprise. Let's start with the scale. According to the FBI's 2024 Internet Crime Report, U.S. victims lost over $16.6 billion to cyber-enabled scams in a single year. Globally, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime estimates that scams now siphon off more than $100 billion annually, and that's just what's reported, with recent reports highlighting how Asian crime syndicates are leading a surge in cyber fraud, potentially pushing global losses even higher as operations expand worldwide. Interpol says that in Southeast Asia alone, scam compounds, literal industrial parks for fraud, generate over $10 billion a year, though some analyses suggest the figure for human trafficking-fueled fraud across organized crime rings could approach trillions in illicit revenue when factoring in global expansion. These aren't back-alley operations. They're business campuses with security gates, dormitories, training rooms, and payroll departments. And here's the kicker. Industry insiders estimate that the return on investment, ROI, for some scam operations exceeds 1,000%. Compare that to tech startups, which are thrilled with 20%, 30%, and you start to see why this is the criminal industry of choice. In 2025, with AI integration, these ROIs are holding strong, as tools like deepfakes make scams more efficient and believable. Think about how you buy a smartphone. Raw materials come from one country, chips from another, assembly in a third, and distribution worldwide. Scams work the same way. Upstream. Data suppliers. These are the miners of the scam economy, but instead of lithium or cobalt, they mine your personal information. Sources include hacked databases, leaked social media lists, and shady data brokers, who sell millions of phone numbers or email addresses for just a few $100s. In recent breaches, like those affecting major social platforms, billions of records have flooded the dark web, fueling this supply. Midstream. Scriptwriters and tech developers. Every convincing scam email, fake website, or deepfake video starts with a script. These writers are the ad copywriters of the underworld, crafting emotional hooks to get victims to click, invest, or panic. Then come the tech teams, developers who code phishing sites, build fake crypto exchanges, or design malicious apps. Some even offer fraud as a service subscriptions, now enhanced with AI tools that generate personalized deepfake videos or voice clones in seconds. Downstream. Call centers and field agents. These are the front line, salespeople, the ones actually contacting victims, often working in rotating shifts to target multiple time zones. They're trained in objection handling, much like a real customer service team. And yes, there are performance metrics and bonuses, with top performers earning extra for high value closes, like draining retirement accounts. Final mile. Money movers. Once the cash or crypto is stolen, money laundering experts step in. They run funds through crypto mixers, shell companies, or mule accounts to make the money disappear. In 2025, blockchain analytics show an uptick in sophisticated mixers using AI to evade detection. Just like legitimate industries, every step is specialized. The person writing the email is not the one collecting your bank transfer. This division of labor is what makes the scam economy scalable and so hard to shut down. Here's where it gets disturbing for finance geeks. Scams are arguably the best investment in the world, if you ignore morality and legality. Let's run the math on a classic romance scam. Cost to acquire a victim's contact: $2. Time spent chatting online: maybe 10 hours over 2 weeks. Average payoff: $2,000 to $10,000. That's a 1,000% to 5,000% return. Investment scams are even bigger. In 2024, the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission reported that Australians lost $945 million to investment fraud, a decrease from prior years but still devastating, often starting with just a Facebook ad or a deepfake endorsement. For the criminals, the risk-adjusted return is absurd. Unlike drug trafficking, there's no need for physical transport, no customs inspections, and relatively low prison sentences if caught. With AI automating victim targeting, these returns are becoming even more consistent in 2025. Here's the economic twist most people miss. Scams evolve with the market. When the global economy tanks, debt relief and job offer scams spike, preying on desperation. When there's a tech boom, you get NFT rug pulls, AI investment schemes, and fake crypto exchanges. In 2025, trends show a resurgence in cryptocurrency fraud, with scammers using AI to create hyper-realistic deepfakes of celebrities endorsing bogus tokens, leading to millions in losses per scheme. During the pandemic, COVID-related fraud, fake PPE, vaccine appointments, stimulus check phishing exploded. In 2021, the FTC reported over 500,000 COVID scam complaints in the US alone, a figure that underscores how quickly scams adapt to crises. Think of scams as the shadow economy's fast followers. Whatever legitimate industry is hot, a criminal version will pop up within weeks, now accelerated by generative AI that crafts bespoke phishing campaigns. The scam industry isn't just a financial phenomenon, it's a labor market. In parts of Southeast Asia, there are documented scam parks, employing tens of thousands of workers. Some are trafficked and forced to work. Others join willingly because the pay beats local wages. Recent Interpol reports highlight how these centers are globalizing, spreading to new regions like Africa and Latin America. Job listings on underground forums advertise roles like crypto exchange support agent, actually phishing; customer retention specialist, pressuring victims for more money; payment processor, money mule. Salaries can reach $1,500 to $3,000 per month in economies where the average wage is $400. Performance bonuses are common. Hit your sales targets, get a bigger cut. Training now includes AI tools for voice modulation, making entry-level roles more tech-savvy. It's grim, but in pure economic terms, scams are an employer with competitive pay, training programs, and global recruitment. Scams don't exist in a vacuum, they're tied to geopolitics. Some states turn a blind eye to scam hubs because they bring in foreign currency. In conflict zones or sanctioned economies, scams can be an economic lifeline. North Korea, for example, has been linked to over $1 billion in stolen crypto since 2020, funding missile programs. In other countries, local elites allegedly protect scam compounds in exchange for a cut, with UN reports noting expansion into new territories amid global instability. This blurs the line between organized crime and state strategy, and makes enforcement a nightmare. We talk about the criminals' profits, but what about the macroeconomic cost to victims? When someone loses $50,000 to an investment scam, that's not just personal tragedy. It's lost consumer spending, reduced retirement security, and increased reliance on public assistance. Globally, these losses contribute to economic drag, with estimates suggesting trillions in indirect costs when including fraud prevention expenses. Banks spend billions on fraud prevention systems, costs that get passed to all customers through higher fees. Law enforcement resources are diverted. And perhaps most damaging, scams erode trust in digital commerce, slowing down legitimate business adoption, especially in emerging markets where AI scams are proliferating. It's a hidden tax on the global economy. If scams are so damaging, why can't we just shut them down? 3 reasons. 1. Jurisdictional complexity. The scammer calling you in London may be in Cambodia, using servers in Russia, and laundering money through Dubai. 2. Low prosecution rates. In many countries, fewer than 1% of reported cybercrimes result in conviction, exacerbated by AI making traceability harder. 3. Endless replacement. Even if a scam ring is busted, the infrastructure, scripts, databases, contacts, is sold to the next group. It's the whack-a-mole problem. but with millions of moles, and now AI automating the regeneration of operations. Here's where the Econ Barbarian flips the script. As an individual, treat unsolicited investment or romance contacts as high-risk assets, zero allocation in your personal portfolio. Diversify your information exposure. Avoid oversharing online, because your data is the scammer's raw material. Use tools like two-factor authentication and AI detection apps to spot deepfakes. As an investor, cybersecurity stocks are booming. Companies like CrowdStrike and Palo Alto Networks see double-digit revenue growth as demand for anti-scam tech rises. Fraud prevention fintechs are raising billions. Visa and MasterCard are acquiring startups to fight payment fraud, with a focus on AI-driven defenses. In other words, the war on scams is itself a multi-billion-dollar market. This is Econ Barbarian, where we strip the illusion from the numbers. Subscribe, hit the bell, and in the comments, tell me, do you think scams can ever be defeated, or will they just keep evolving like every other industry? Because the battlefield isn't out there somewhere, it's in your inbox, your phone, and your wallet. Stay curious, stay sharp.